To Mrs. Mary Jones, at Brambleton Hall. Dear Molly Jones, heaving gut of Frank, I now return your fever, which I received by Mr. Higgins, at the hot well, together with the stockings, which his wife footed for me, but now they are of no service. No body wears such things in this place, O Molly. You that live in the country have no deception of our doings at Bath. Here is such dressing, and fiddling, and dancing, and gaddying, and courting and plotting, O gracious! If God had not given me a good stock of discretion, what a power of things might not I reveal, concerning old mistress and young mistress, Jews with beards that were no Jews, but handsome Christians, without a hair upon their sin, strolling with spectacles, to get speech of Miss Liddy. But she's a dear sweet soul, as innocent as the child unborn. She has told me all her inward thoughts, and disclosed her passion for Mr. Wilson, and that's not his name neither, and though he acted among the player men, he is meet for their masters, and she has gin me her yellow trolopia, which Mrs. Drab, the manty-maker, says will look very well when it is scoured and smoked with sulphur. You knows as how yellow fits my physiognomy. God he knows what havoc I shall make among the male sex, when I make my first appearance in this killing collar, with a full suit of gaze, as good as new, that I bought last Friday of Madame Firpono, the French milliner. Dear girl, I have seen all the fine shoes of Bath, the Prades, the Squires, and the Circus, the Crachet, the Hodagon, and Bloody Buildings, and Harry King's Row, and I have been twice in the bath with mistress, and now are a smoke upon our backs, hussy. The first time I was mortally afraid, and flustered all day, and afterwards made believe that I had got the headache, but mistress said, if I didn't go I should take a dose of bum taffy, and so remembering how it worked Mrs. Gwilym Pennorth, I chose rather to go again with her into the bath, and then I met with an accident. I dropped my petticoat, and could not get it up from the bottom. But what did that signify? They might laugh, but they could see nothing, for I was up to the sin in water. To be sure, it threw me into such a combustion, that I know not what I said, nor what I did, nor how they got me out, and wrapped me in a blanket. Mrs. Tabitha scooted a little when we got home, but she knows as I know what's what. I'll Lord help you. There is Sir Uri Miclegut, of Balnaclinch, in the county of Callaway. I took down the name from his gentleman, Mr. Zero Frizzle, and he has got an estate of 1,500 a year. I am sure he is both rich and generous, but you knows, Molly, I was always famous for keeping secrets, and so he was very safe in trusting me with his phlegm for mistress, which, to be sure, is very honourable, for Mr. O'Frizzle assures me he values not her portion a brass farthing, and, indeed, what's poor £10,000 to a barren knight of his fortune? And, truly, I told Mr. Zero Frizzle that was all she had trust to. As for John Thomas, he's a morass feller, I vow. I thought he would have fit with Mr. Zero Frizzle, because he axed me to dance with him at Spring Garden, but God he knows I have no thoughts aither of one or t'other. As for house news, the worst is, Chowder has fallen off greatly from his stomach. He cats nothing but white meats, and not much of that, and wheezes, and seems to be much bloated. The doctors think he is threatened with a dropsy. Parson Maravat, who has got the same disorder, finds great benefit from the waters, but Chowder seems to like them no better than the squire, and mistress says, if his case don't take a favourable turn, she will certainly carry him to Aberga, New York, to drink goat's whey. To be sure, the poor dear Honamil is lost for want of exercise, for which reason she intends to give him an airing once a day upon the downs, in a post-chaise I have already made. Very creditable connections in this here place, where, to be sure, we have the very quintessence of satiety. Mrs. Patcher, my Lady Kilmaculloch's woman, and I are sworn sisters. She has shown me all her secrets, and learned me to wash gaze, and rough-rash rusty silks and bumzines, by boiling them with winegar, chamberley, and stale beer. My short sack and apron luck as good as new from the shop, and my pompadour as fresh as a rose, by the help of turtle water. But this is all Greek and Latin to you, Molly. If we should come to Aberga, New York, you'll be within a day's ride of us, and then we shall see one another, please God. If not, remember me in your prayers, as I shall do by you in mine, and take care of my kitten, and give my kind sarvice to Saul. And this is all at present, from your beloved friend and servant, W. Jenkins, Bath. April 26th.